can't, man. Okay? If any man love this world, you cannot love God at the same time. You can't. Right? Come on.
For all that is in the world,
All that is in the world. Come on.
the lust of the flesh,
The what?
the lust of the flesh,
The lust of the flesh. Come on.
and the lust of the eyes,
And the lust of the eyes. Go ahead.
and the pride of life
And the pride of life. Come on.
is not of the Father,
All that stuff is not of the Father. Come on.
but is of the world.
So that's of the world. So all this folly that you see going on, all this nonsense, all this drama, all this evil is not of the Father, but is of the world. Come on.
And the world passeth away. Come. And the world passeth away.
This world is going to pass away. What does it mean when something passes away? It's going to be put to death. This world is going to be put to death. It's going to die. All right? It's going to be done away with. Right? Come on.
And the lust thereof.
And all this folly, all this lust and folly along with it is going to pass away also. All this going to pass away and be destroyed. Then,
But he that doeth the will of God,
he that doeth the will of Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahushai. What the hell is this, man? The baby, the Edomite version of the baby. This is funny, man. I had enough, man. I had enough of this folly. Let another brother come up and deal with this folly, man. Go ahead.
and the world passeth away,
And this world is going to pass away. It's going to be destroyed, done away with. Go ahead.
and the lust thereof.
And the lust of this world is going to pass away and be destroyed and done away with. Come on.
But he that doeth the will of God,
He that doeth the will of Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahushai. Come on.
abideth forever.
Abide forever. You're going to dwell forever by Shema Mashiach Yahushai. And they continue to be read. All right, they continue to be read. There they are. And they continue to be read. God. So with that, death and destruction, captivity, slavery, punishment, the end of your world for Esau and the other nations, peace, safety, and the kingdom of heaven to the 12 tribes of Israel forever and ever. Amen. From that shadow, we still got next. Hallelujah. Bring it out. All praise to Yahweh and Yahweh Shai forever and ever. Amen. Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Shalom.
Hallelujah, shalom.
Hallelujah. Shalom.
Hallelujah, shalom.
Hallelujah. Shalom.
Hallelujah, shalom.
Shalom. Good. The hell with Halloween. Hallelujah. Shalom.
Hallelujah, shalom.
Halloween Rebuke 2021 by Shema Mashiach Yahushai. Shalom. Next speaker coming up, Jamin Simeon on his set. Hallelujah. Shalom.
Hallelujah, shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. So the priest spoke well in the spirit, edifying the public, edifying the people on this Halloween. We're going to start with Ephesians 5 and 11. So we just out here to rebuke all this darkness, the icons of darkness, and we trying to show y'all the opposite, the light, you know. So let's get that in Ephesians 5 and 11.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 11. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness.
So it's saying have no fellowship with the unfruitful of darkness.
But rather reprove them. For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret.
So we got to reprove them or correct them. So when we see our people, our blacks and Hispanics following Halloween, we got to let y'all know y'all got to come out of that. Y'all got to have fellowship with other stuff. You got that, brother?
Philippians chapter 1, verse 5. For your fellowship in the gospel from the first day until now.
So that's your fellowship right there, is the gospel, the good news for you blacks and Hispanics, the laws. They got to come out of all this darkness, this Halloween. Because I'm going to let y'all know, man, they just mocking us on Halloween, man. Last week I came out my house, first thing I see was a skeleton hanging off a tree.
Right.
So what's that? Who they used to hang on trees? Somebody get that in Acts 5.
Bring it up.
5 and 30. Because that's all they doing on Halloween. They hanging skeletons, witches, all types of stuff. All types of human bodies they hanging on Halloween. That mocking you. And y'all blindly following them. Them Caucasians know what it's up. They know what they doing. We follow them in all their customs, everything. Bring that out.
The book of Acts chapter 5, verse 30. The God of all fathers raised up Jesus, whom he slew and hanged on a tree.
So that's all they doing is mocking us, man. And we here as the clock strikes midnight, man. We out here following all this folly, all this unfruitful works of darkness and all that, man. But like it said in Philippians, we gotta come back and follow the gospel, the good news, to you so-called Israelites, man. Come back to our customs, our heritage, all our high holy days. So we just out here to give y'all the sense, man. Let y'all know that these other nations been deceiving us, man. Before they high holy days, from Halloween to Thanksgiving, all the way down to Christmas. Because we know all of them is vain. They make no sense, man. Even with Thanksgiving, we're going to be celebrating the slaughter of the so-called Hispanics and Native Americans. And then Christmas is just another folly of Saturnalia and all types of European folly, all types of European customs. You know. And then next, you know, it'll probably be Easter. They give y'all the live bunnies and eggs, but bunnies don't lay no eggs. So what's going on? Bunnies give live births and all that. But we just out here to stop all the folly and all the foolishness, man, and give y'all that proper doctrine. So let's get that in Proverbs 4 and 2. Because we just out here to give y'all the gospel and the good news and the doctrine which coincides with the good news, you know.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 2. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law.
So that's the doctrine right there, and that coincides with the gospel. Once we stop forsaking these laws, the good news is that the Most High and our power gonna fight for us, man. That's right. He gonna come back and put us back on top, put us back in rulership, and he gonna kick all these nations out of our land. Y'all not tired of the white man, the Chinese man, the Arab man, the East Indian man all in your land oppressing you? Y'all not tired of that. Y'all love that. Y'all love these other nations in y'all lands. And we're gonna go to Deuteronomy 28. Let's start like at 40, 42. So we just gonna give y'all the curses. Somebody bring out 15. We'll start at 15. Salaki, let's start at 15.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So it's saying if we don't follow these commandments, all these curses shall come upon us and overtake us. So all these curses gonna come upon us and overtake us. So we're gonna go into a few of the curses. Let's start at verse 41.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity.
So it's saying we're gonna have sons and daughters, and the curses is we will not enjoy them, because they will be taken from us, whether it be on an auction block or in captivity and in slavery. They will be given into another people. They will be given to the so-called slave masters and to have dominion over them, whatever they want to do. Whether they sell them to the next plantation, sell them to Georgia or Macon or North Carolina, wherever they sent us to. Bring out the next curse.
All the trees and fruit of thy land shall the locust consume.
So it's saying the locust gonna consume all the trees and the fruits of our land. And I'm gonna hit y'all with a gem, man. That's talking about the other nations. Joel bear witness to that. Let's get that real quick. Joel chapter 1.
Bring it out.
So Joel was bringing out how all these nations was gonna come. Start at verse 1.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 1, verse 1. The word of the Lord that came to Joel, the son of Pt2. Hear this, ye old men, and give ear, all ye inhabitants of the land.
I was saying, hear this, you old men and all you inhabitants, all you Israelites, so-called blacks and Hispanics.
Hath this been in your days, or even in the days of your fathers?
So it's saying, had this been in the days of our ancestors, 20, 30 generations ago? What's going on? Why the so-called white man, the Chinese man, the East Indian man, the Arab man in our land? What's going on?
Tell ye your children of it, and let your children tell their children.
And even tell your children, when you go 10, 20 generations forward, you gotta let your children know.
And their children another generation, that which the palmer worm hath left.
So it's saying that which the palmer worm or one of these nations
hath the locust eaten.
Have left, that's what the locust eaten. Another nation came and consumed them.
And that which the locusts have left hath the cankerworm eaten.
And now with the locusts left the cankerworm, another nation came and devoured us.
And that which the cankerworm hath left hath the caterpillar eaten.
So it's going through all these animals of all these nations, talking about how they ate off of the children of Israel.
Awake, ye drunkards, and weep and howl, all ye drinkers of wine, because of the new wine, for it is cut off from your mouth.
So it's talking about to awake you drunkards from this new wine. The new wine is the lies that they're teaching us, the lies that they're feeding us.
For a nation is come up upon my land,
Now it's talking about this nation that came upon our land.
strong and without number,
So they were strong.
whose teeth are the teeth of a lion, and he hath the teeth of a great lion.
So this is a strong nation, you know, it's one of the top dogs nations on this earth.
He hath laid my vine waste, and burnt my fig tree.
So he left his fig tree bark, and the fig tree don't got no fruits. They don't know their language, they don't know their customs, their high holy days, they don't know nothing that's going on.
He hath made it clean bare, and cast it away. The branches thereof are made white.
So it's saying that these animals them ate all the fruits of our trees and bear fruit of everything that we had. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 28.
The book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
So it's saying that these other nations, when they come, they're going to come up very high, and we're going to go down very low.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
So he's going to be lending to us, and he ain't going to lend, we're not going to lend to him. So wherever we want, we're going to have to go to these other nations when they come through.
He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
So they're going to be the head, meaning they're going to be making all the decisions, whether the vaccination, whatever type of economy they want to give us, whether it's capitalism or communism, everything, it's going to be them making the decision. We're not going to make no decisions. We're just going to digest whatever they give us. That's how we the tail.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed.
So it's saying that all these curses in Deuteronomy 28, what Moses prophesied would happen to us, was going to consume us and overtake us. And ain't no way you could flee or try to overturn these curses on yourself, by yourself.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee.
And that's one of the reasons why. That's the main reason why, because we ain't hearkened to the Most High when he gave us the laws. We rather follow the laws of the white man, the Chinese man, the East Indian, the Arab man, the Africans. We rather follow all the other laws instead of our laws.
As they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
And these curses was going to be a sign upon us. That's how we're going to be able to identify who we are in these latter days, through these curses. All these curses that's found in the scriptures.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things.
Because we ain't serve the Lord, the Most High, with all our heart, you know, and with gladness, you know, a glad mind, you know. Because even with the Sabbath, either with these high holy days, it'd be like it's a burden and stuff, you know. Like you can't cook, you can't go to work, you know, you can't do certain stuff, you know. You can't buy or sell, you know, and there's temptations, man. All these good sales be on the weekends and stuff like that, you know, they be knocking a couple percentage off and all that. But we just here, man.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
And then we're going to have to serve our enemies. We're not serving our friends. The white man, the Chinese man, the Arab man, the African man, they're not our friends. They are enemies.
In hunger.
In hunger, when we want to go to eat, we got to serve these other nations. We're not producing no food. It's illegal to plant food and try to eat it in most states, in most counties and stuff, man. You got to go to these other nations. You got to go to your Ralphs, your Vons, your Albertsons, your Food for Less, your Trader Joe's, your Whole Food, whatever you want to call it. And you see it now. They're raising up the prices and all that, man. on everything, man. The inflation is coming through, and there's nothing you can do about it. No way to alleviate it. Ain't no you gonna work overtime and try to make more money. It's just gonna keep going and going. It's gonna keep going up. Bring it out, Rob.
Y'all said we're going to even cut rainwater.
Yeah, it's illegal to collect rainwater too. Let's bring that out.
And in thirst.
And in thirst, man. Like you're gonna have to run that faucet, and you're gonna have to pay that water bill and stuff, man. And even if you try to collect the rainwater, they come down on you, they find you, that's a fine. You can't even collect the rainwater like the brother was bringing out.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness, we want clothing, we gotta go to the stores. We're not producing no type of clothing. No, we're not making no type of textile. We're not turning the cotton and fine pressing it to make a shirt. We don't have those capabilities, man. And if we look at the law, that's probably illegal too, because these white people got dominion on everything.
And in want of all things.
And in want of all things. So whatever we want, whether it's to drive down the street, whether to travel, we're gonna need licenses, passports, visas. We're gonna need all types of things. And nowadays we're gonna need vaccines. We're gonna need that vax card. You're gonna need all types of negative tests on your COVID. They out here monopolizing the game. You can't travel through plane, train, boat. You can't do nothing out here, man. And that's how they got us, man, because we have no power to do nothing, man. You can't even cross no borders without them say so and stuff, man.
He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
He was going to have us in cruel slavery until he had destroyed us. So now we see that we have no yokes of iron. It's because that white man, that Chinese man, that Arab man, that African man, they have destroyed us. And they know us blacks and Hispanics, we go to them for everything. And in want of all things. Another one, how does thou fall us on the pavement?
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far and from the end of the earth.
It's saying the Most High was going to bring a nation from far, from the end of the earth. Now let's find out what this nation was.
As swift as the eagle flyeth.
Swift as the eagle flieth. And it's going back to what Joel was bringing out. That there was going to be this one nation that was strong as a lion with teeth, and it was going to leave us bare. And we all know which nation symbolizes the eagle. From the Caucasians, the so-called Americans, to the French, to the Spain, even down to the people that the conquistador. You see it on the Mexican flag, they got the eagle. You see it on all flags. Germany got the eagle. So that's what they exalt, the eagle. You know that?
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Even down to their language, you wasn't going to understand their language. And that goes back to the want of all things. Because we think we speak American, we speak English. Like that's our language. Even our so-called Hispanics, y'all speak Spanish. Like that's y'all language. It's not y'all language. Y'all wasn't speaking that 10, 20 generations ago.
Good.
A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, no show favor to the young.
So that led me back with Joel, man, that lion, that chief teeth and all that. So we just here.
Who are you?
Read that again.
Who are you?
A nation of fierce countenance,
Who are you?
which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
So these so-called Caucasian, they wasn't going to show no favor to the young or to the old. You see what happened to us generations ago? They was out here cutting hands, chopping feet if we ain't bring back 2 pounds of copper,
I'm here.
2 pounds of cotton, 2 pounds of Shane Cooker. So bring it out.
And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until they be destroyed.
And that's what they did. They took all our livestock when they came here. Made us work for it. And half the times we ain't eat nothing. We just ate probably the guts and all the slop they left for us, man. They took all the good meat, the prime cuts, left us barely with nothing.
Which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kine, or flocks of thy sheep, until he has destroyed thee.
So he ain't leave us with really nothing, man. No type of fruits, no type of livestock. We was eating barely the slops, man. That's all we was eating. Bring it out.
And he shall besiege thee in thy gates, until the high and fierce walls come down, wherein thou trustest throughout all the land.
So even our protection, our leadership, our gates, they was gonna effeminize them. That's why you see all our leaders is either entertainers or they even gay.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking
Hold it down,
about.
brother. Hold it down.
That's
Man.
no, quiet. It's real right here.
Now, I feel you.
Go deep on that.
Read that again with the gates.
And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates,
He shall sack all our leaders.
until thy high and fixed walls come down.
So all our leadership come down. Now that's why we don't got no leaders. You ask us who our leaders, we're gonna talk about sports figures. We're gonna talk about, you said what?
I'm a leader, bro.
Nah, I feel you.
I'm a leader, bro.
I hear you. So we don't have no leaders and stuff, man. All our leaders is entertainers, sports figures, singers, rappers. We don't have no voice, man. Nah, I know. Just bear with me, huh?
You the leader. I'm saying you the leader.
Lay thou trusted throughout all thy land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord thy God hath given thee.
So no matter where we go on this earth, all these other nations will always oppress us, man. From the Chinese man to the Arabs to the Africans to the so-called Caucasians to the East Indians. No matter where the blacks and Hispanics go, we're gonna be oppressed. Whether we go to Mexico, Guatemala, Panamania, no matter where we go, we always be oppressed.
And thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters.
So that was us, you know, we was eating all our children and stuff, man. From when they sacked Jerusalem in 70 AD to even the times when we was out here in captivity in the Americas and all that, man. There was fire with the so-called white man, Chinese man, Arab man, African man them did to us, man.
Which the Lord thy God hath given thee, in the siege and in straitness wherewith thy enemy shall distress thee.
And that's what it was, man. They was squeezing out our water, our food, going back to serving them in one of all things, man. And some of us had to go down and just eat our kids. Or even take food from our kids' plate, man. Like, it's gonna be crazy. And them curses is everlasting, so them times it's gonna come back.
So the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother.
So the tender man, you see the curses with the so-called blacks and Hispanics. You can't look at a black man for more than 2 seconds without y'all getting and shaking and stuff, man. Without a fight going on, without some type of tension going on. Because everybody all emotional and all that, you know? Bring it up.
And toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
And that goes another curse right there, you know, or the children who he may lead. And that's something that burdens our community so much. And that's how you know this is for a sign and a wonder, because you don't see that what's going on in the Jewish community. You don't see the Jewish man leaving their children. You don't see no single Jewish woman out here talking about Sluckovich is a deadbeat dad or something, you know. That only goes on in our community, you know, the so-called Pablos and Tyrones or whatever you want to call them, man. You don't see Zuckerberg being called a deadbeat, being put on child support and all that. Having a court system to make sure he take care of his kids. That happens to us, the so-called blacks and Hispanics, man. And that's running in our community, man. Running rampant.
So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he hath nothing left in him in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thy enemy shall distress thee in all thy gates.
Yeah, because our enemies, the so-called white man, Chinese man, African man, Arab man, he ain't leave us nothing. We don't leave no inheritance to our kids. All we leave them in sorrow and debt, man. And these white people walk around so proud and stuff, man. But it's all right, you know, we still here.
The tender and delicate women among you, which would not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter.
Yeah, and that goes on to what's happening in our community, the so-called blacks and Hispanics. That's how we identify with these curses, that we are the people of the book. Because you don't see no Jewish woman out here, no man complaining about having baby mama drama with their women and stuff. You don't see that running rampant in the Jewish community. I never seen no single woman talking bad about Sluckovich and all that, you know. We don't see that going on in the Jewish community, man. Bring it out.
And toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear.
Yeah, and you don't see them Jewish people having no ACS cases. They ain't abusing their kids, you know. They got a close-knit community and stuff, man. You don't see no type of baby mama, baby father drama going on in the Jewish community. That's only with the blacks and Hispanics, man. That's a curse that was put on us.
For she shall eat them for want of all things, secretly in the seas and straightness, wherewith thy enemy shall distress thee in thy gates.
So that's going on. That's going on in the black and Hispanic community, man. That's not going on in the Jewish community, you know. So we just out here trying to give the sense, you know. Trying to let y'all know these curses apply to y'all, you so-called blacks and Hispanic. Y'all not tired and stuff, man?
If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, Yahweh Ba'ashem HaMashiach Yahushua.
So there it goes. It's telling us to hear and listen to every word and to do it, you know. That's all we got to do is just come back and hearken to these laws so we can overturn these curses, man, turn back the blessings, you know. Because that's all the Most High God gave us, you know, with his blessings. Either blessings or curses. Somebody get that Deuteronomy 11:27. But that's all the Most High set before us, man. He ain't give us nothing else. No middle part, no, I'ma just be in the middle, I'ma play both sides. It's either one or the other. 27.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11, verse 26. Good. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse.
So that's all Moses told us. The Most High gave us. It's either a blessing or a curse. Now let's find out the stipulations.
A blessing if ye obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day.
So that's the only way we'll get the blessing, you know, if we keep the commandments. Ain't no other way to be blessed, you know. And it, like I be saying, it ain't like I sneeze and the brother say, bless you, I'm blessed and all that, man. The only way to be blessed is by keeping the commandments.
Right. And the curse, if ye will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God.
And that's the ultimatum, a curse, you know, you so-called blacks and Hispanics, if we don't obey the commandments.
But turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods which ye have not known.
So going after other powers or these other nations' gods and stuff, man. That wasn't ours, following their languages, their customs, their traditions. That's where we fell at, man, because we look for these other nations for help, you know, for our rest. But that's not our rest, man. We got our own constitution. We got our own, you know, customs and high holy days, man. It's high time we find out what that is, man. Because we out here just following Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, President's Day. Right. We just out here blindly just following everything these other nations just give us, you know. So we just out here to give the sense, you know, to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American, man. It's time to come back to these laws, man. Come back to this commandment. Somebody give me that Joshua 1:8 real quick, man.
I got a precept for you.
All right, bring it out here. So good, you know. Come on, bring that out.
This is the book of Sirach 19, verse 20. Let me get 19. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life. And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. The fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law and the knowledge of his omnipotency.
That's plain as that, you know. That's where our wisdom, that's where our knowledge is at, and just keeping the law. That's where life is and stuff. Proverbs 7:2, man. Somebody get that to land me back with that scripture and all that, man. Yeah, Proverbs Proverbs 7 and 2.
If you do the change, you would think it is.
So we just out here to give the sense, man. Let y'all know, man. These commandments is what brings their life, man.
Proverbs 7 and 2. Keep my commandments and live.
It's saying keep these laws and live, man. Be blessed. Because you blacks and Hispanics don't know what life is, man. Y'all just out here in servitude and all that, you know. Y'all just out here just living a life, man. It's not even a quality life, man. Can we read that again?
Huh?
Proverbs 7 and 2.
What time is it?
Keep my commandments and live, and my law is the apple of thine eye.
Just keep the commandments and live, man. All this book always talks about is these laws, man, these commandments, man. So let's get that Joshua 1 and 8. So yeah, we just out here to tell y'all blacks and Hispanics time to come back to these laws, man. Y'all not tired of all these other nations in y'all land? Y'all not tired of the white man, the Chinese man, the Arab man, East Indian man, all in all?
Yakeem gonna close it.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 1,
We're
verse
gonna do
8.
like 15 minutes.
This book of the
Like,
law
what
shall
time
not
do you get
depart
the car?
out of thy mouth,
Like
but thou
12:45.
shalt
You get the
meditate
car.
therein day and night.
So these laws should never depart out of our mouth, man. We gotta meditate day and night in them.
That thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous.
That's the only way we're gonna be prosperous as blacks and Hispanics. And that's the only way we're gonna kick the so-called white man, Chinese man, African, East Indian, Arab man off our land, man. It's the only way we're gonna do it.
Yet then thou shalt have good success.
Once he finished.
Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest.
So it's saying to keep them and don't be afraid, man. Don't be discouraged or nothing, man. Keep these laws. All we gotta do is just keep these laws. Guardar estos mandamientos. Eso es lo que dijo la Biblia. That's all it is. And don't have no fear, man. Bring that out. Let's hear what Timothy told us, man.
2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed.
So, read that again, Salakia.
2 Timothy 2 and 15. Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed.
Now, I want to fear. But now we good and stuff, man. Most High did not give us the spirit of fear, but of power. Now, you got a question?
How can a Jew believe in the Bible?
You're a Jew, you believe in Jesus?
Yeah, I believe in Jesus.
As God.
Huh?
As the Son of God.
Yeah, as the Son of God and stuff. So how do we believe? You know how we believe in Jesus?
I'm not judging, I'm just trying to understand.
No, just speak your mind, man. You know how we believe? Because that's a plain statement right there, you know? Somebody get that inside right, 32:24. Let's find out how we believe. So there's no confusion, you know? Because this Bible always turns back to the same thing, always gives the same message, man. So let's find out how we believe. You got that?
Sirach 32:24. He that believeth in the Lord taketh heed to the commandment.
So you heard that? Read that again, man.
He that believeth in the Lord taketh heed to the commandment. And he,
You understand that? You understand how we believe?
1 second.
he that believeth in the Lord.
So he that believeth in the Lord, right? You asked if he believed in the Lord, right? So now it's going to tell you how you believe in the Lord.
Taketh heed to the commandments.
So they follow, they listen to the commandments. That's all it is. That's how we believe, you know. Because I don't know what you've been taught what belief was, you know, going to church or just shouting, singing songs. I don't know what's going on. You know, so that's the only way we could believe.
I believe in Christ, Jesus Christ. I was baptized with Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit. So I just want to understand. I'm not.
No, I understand. Ain't no contention here. But I'm saying, you say you believe in Jesus, right? So we just read how you believe, right? How do you believe? Listen. Let's deal one point at a time. How do we believe again? We just read it 3 times for you. How do we believe, right? How do we believe?
You shall not pass.
Read that precept again.
He that believeth in the Lord,
So this is how you believe in the Lord, all right?
taketh heed to the commandments.
You understand that? So now I'm going to bring out a commandment, right? I'm going to see what's going on. Let's get that Leviticus 19:27. So this is a commandment. You know, we just read, he that believe, take heed to the commandments of the laws, right?
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 27. Ye shall not round the corners of your head,
So you don't round the corners of your head, you know, make baldness.
neither shall thou mar the corners of thy beard.
Either destroy your beard, that's the law, you know. Now I see your 5 o'clock shadow, so you shaved recently and all that. You know that's a sin? So you don't believe.
Isn't Jesus as a Messiah come down as the Son of God to proclaim or to declare the truth?
Keep letting it
All right, now, yes. Now I'm going to ask you, what is the truth?
Yet as the Son of Man, the human being comes down and sacrifices his life.
All right, explain it like you explained it to my son, a 5-year-old, 6-year-old. What is the truth?
When God himself, the world is out of the command.
Psalms 119:42. We're going to give you the biblical definition of truth. Because even when I was in the Christian church, all they talk about, oh, Jesus is the truth, but they never explained what the truth was. And somebody give me John 8:32.
But God comes down as a human being and reveals the truth. I'm trying to understand.
So we're going to give you the truth. But we just don't throw statements out there saying Jesus is the truth. All right, hold it down. Now we're going to do Psalms. Matter of fact, give me John 8:32 first.
Come on, this is the book of John, chapter 8, verse 32.
Pay attention to this.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
So now, what is the truth? What is going to make us free? Because you said Jesus is the truth, right? You're just throwing statements out there. So what is the truth? Come learn something.
Why is Jesus the most
All right, let's find out the truth real quick.
This is Psalms, the book of Psalms 119, verse 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
So what's the truth?
The law was God and he gave it. The world
Come on,
is
man.
the law.
Read that again for the brother.
Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
What is the truth?
The law is the
All right, the law. All right, that's it. Nothing. Don't try to add nothing to it. That's
But then
it.
the world didn't follow the law. So Jesus came down as human being, sacrificed his life, gave up the world for this, the sin that they did. He gave up his life. So what was that on? I'm asking you a question.
No, I understand, but
I see this 10,000.
so you thinking this is Jesus right here? This where you from?
This is an icon. This is not
No, I understand. I
an
understand.
icon of the Savior.
All right, but we just giving you layman's term, like what is the truth, how you believe. Because you came up and said you believe in Jesus, right? So how do you believe in Jesus again?
That's in the Bible.
Hold me down. So how you believe in Jesus?
I believe as the Messiah, the Savior, the truth. He is my everything. He is the word.
All right, what is the truth again? Jesus Christ? All right, but we just read the scripture, right, that explains the truth. What is the truth?
The law.
All right.
Follow the law. So Jesus had to come down and
All right, just hold it down now. Now bring it out.
This is the book of John, chapter 7, verse 38. He that believeth on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water.
So he that believeth in him, as the scripture has said, you know, that's how we believe. What says these scriptures? Somebody give me that Baruch 4. Because that's all these scriptures is. So that's what the scriptures is. He that believeth in me, as the scriptures say. Now let's find out what these scriptures is.
Baruch chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God.
So that's what this book is. That's what these scriptures is. Just the commandments, the laws. Nothing more, nothing less, you know. And the good news in our history, you know, it's like our Constitution, man. So that's all this book is going into, the laws. The laws, the ceremonies, the customs, the high holy days, and our lifestyles, you know. Down to the food we ate, how we treated our brothers, our sisters, our parents. You know, this is what made us civilized. This is what made us great in the sight of the other nations. And that's why, to this day, now that's why they say the laws is done away with. Somebody give me that in Judas 5:20. But these other nations, they know what's going on with our power. What makes us wise, what makes us strong. And they know what destroys us, man. So that's why they pushed all the laws is done away with. We don't got to keep the laws. We better off just following the laws of America, the laws of these nations. So somebody bring that out.
The book of Judah, chapter 5, verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
So it's saying there was a council, you know, one of the spies or one of the journeymen went to this person and he told them if there's any errors or any sin in these people, that will be their ruin. Somebody give me 1 John 3 and 4. Let's find out what sin is. Because this whole Bible lines up, man.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law.
So that's all sin is breaking the laws. So they already knew if there's any sin, if we're breaking the laws, this will be our ruin. Read.
The book of Judah, chapter 5, verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
So that's how these nations knew they could always overcome us, always have their way with us if we was in sin, breaking our laws, breaking our Constitution. And read the other one.
But if there be no iniquity in their nation,
if there be no sin in the blacks and Hispanics,
let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them.
So they already knew, leave them alone, lest our power defend us, you know. And that goes into the blessings, you know. Because if there's no iniquity in us, all we're going to get is the blessing. We will have our own nation. We will kick the so-called white man, Chinese man, Arab man, African man off our land. But y'all don't want that. Y'all comfortable, you know. Y'all comfortable with these other nations giving y'all all these lies, giving y'all all these fake customs and all that. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, you know. Let's sit on that. Hold on, hold it down.
I have a question.
And their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
And then these other nations will be hated. That's the same way with the anti-Semitic, you know. The Jewish man is taking advantage of that now. Once we say something against the so-called, once you say something against the Jews and stuff, it's like the anti-Semitic. But they get that from us and all, you know. Hold on. Come on, somebody hold it down. Excuse me. Now these devils is, you know, somebody would have slapped fire out her and all that, you know. Yo, y'all brothers gotta hold down the post, man. Come on, man. She could have gave me $1.50 and all that real quick and all that, you know. Could have took the spirit from you talking about them Jews like that and shit, them Jewish people. But where we was at, bring that out, huh?
But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by. Let their Lord defend them, and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
I have a question.
Hold it down, man. Come on, man. Come on. I heard you, man. Come on, don't do that, man. Read that again now.
But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
So if there's no sin on us and all that, these other nations would have just kept it moving. They wouldn't be in our land oppressing us, you know. giving us all types of other stuff, you know, all type of folly. What's going on, man?
Why are you representing the Bible, taking parts of it and trying to explain something? When you know the truth, why are you reading parts of the Bible of Mark, Luke, John? That's a different story. Why are you doing that? If you have a truth, then speak from your truth. Don't take the part of some other religion and try to say that this is the truth or the lie.
Alright, somebody give me First Peter
You
4
open the
and 11.
Quran, you will open the Bible, that's not the way.
Nah, but we only coming out the Bible. I'm not gonna come out with my own truth. What's the truth again?
Again, you are taking the part of the Mark, Luke, you're a Jew. You have a Torah, right?
First Peter 4 and 11. This is why I'm taking their words.
If any man, 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 11. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God.
So if I speak, I'm gonna have to come out of the oracles or the words of God. That's why I can go to John, Joel, Moses, all these other prophets and say their words.
What about Jesus? Why not Jesus?
So you want me to go quote Jesus?
No, why isn't Jesus the truth? Like why are you taking parts of these other gospels of Mark?
Speak louder.
Why are you taking parts of these different? Why is the Holy Bible placed there?
Stop on somebody else.
So you got a problem with the Bible being over there? So I don't believe in Jesus?
These kids be confused with they think that we're the Jews that say Israel that don't believe in Christ. He's confused. He thinks that we're the
Like, see, you confusing me and stuff, man. You know, like. All right, we believe in the whole Bible. Somebody give me that Psalms 40 in it. From Genesis to Revelation. Bring that up.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 7. Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O God.
So throughout the whole Bible is talked about doing his will. From Genesis to Revelation, we believe in the whole Bible in order.
Isn't Jesus the truth?
Somebody give me Psalms 40 and 8. So this is why we all throughout the Bible and stuff. We believe in the whole Bible. Thus saith the Lord, you know.
We believe in Jesus and the Holy Spirit. Right?
How do you believe again?
We believe in Jesus and the Holy Spirit.
All right, how do you believe though?
I believe in all three of them. There are three forms of God. God came in human, God came in
Psalm 40
spirit within me.
The book of Psalms, chapter 40, verse 8. I delight to do thy will, oh my God. Yeah, thy law is within my heart.
So start at 7.
Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me.
So it's written of Christ throughout the whole volume of the book. From Genesis to Revelation. Get that precept. Now I'm going to ask you a question. What is the light? Or who is the light? Jesus? Give me that Genesis 1 and 3.
Look, listen to this. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 10. For precept must be upon precept. Precept upon precept. He said it twice. Line upon line. Line upon line. Here a little and there a little. This is telling you how.
All right, so we just out here. We going precept upon precept all through the book, you know, Genesis to Revelation. I asked you who is the light. You said Jesus. Let's see that real quick.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 3. And God said, let there be light.
So there you go. That's in the first book, first chapter, one of the first verses of the Bible. Let there be light. Give me that Proverbs 6:23. So now let's see how this Bible keeps going in circles and stuff, man. So let's find out a better definition of this light. You know.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light.
So what is the light?
The law was not followed, so Jesus had to come down. Show us the truth.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. I'm gonna hit you with the book, chapter, verse, and all that, but I ain't gonna do that to you. No, all right, yo, you have a good night, all right, man. So yeah, we just out here to get a sense, man, you know, to the so-called blacks and Hispanics and all, you know. Come back to these laws, come back to these commandments and stuff, man.
Right.
What's good? Everything good, man? Everything good? We just out here to let you know, man, this Bible's for you, man. When last time you cracked open your Bible and stuff, man? All the time. Now that's what's up, man. Keep reading and do it. Give me that Revelations 1 and 3. This for you and all that, you know.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand.
So it says, blessed is he that readeth, man, you know, and that do all the things that's written therein, you know. And once you do that, man, you're going to be blessed, man. You're going to be in a better position, you know. You're going to be in rulership, man. It's not in this lifetime, the next to come, you know. So just hold it down, you know. And most likely you from one of these 12 tribes and stuff, you know. Just do your research and come in the fight, you know, come in this war, man, because it's going to get crazy, man. You're not tired of all these nations all around you? The so-called white man, the Chinese man, the Arab man. No, I'm just saying, you know, because you would have been in this fight with us, man. I don't know, you know. Somebody give me that in Numbers 15:37. Nah, all right, say less, you know. Nah, I wasn't attacking you. I was trying to build with you. Nah, you right. But no, we just out here to let you know, man, it's time to get busy and stuff, you know. Man, we could use some protection out here, man. We got all types of Edomites and white ladies walking up on us. You know, like, we need brothers in this fight, man, you know. Somebody bring that up.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 37. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments, and throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them.
So that's what the fringes is for, you know, just to remember these laws and to do them, you know. That's all it is for, you know. Now bring that out.
The book of Romans, chapter 2, verse 13. For not the hearers of the law are just before God, but the doers of the law shall be justified.
So not just the hearers of the word, but those that do them. So I ain't trying to come at you out or anything, you know. I'm just trying to build, you know. No, definitely out. So, you know, just getting the feeling and all that. What's up, man? Y'all looking eager and stuff.
I just stopped by and say shit. I just stopped by and say nothing.
No, but, you know, we was out here just showing love, you know. We be rebuking, you know. That's how you show love too and stuff, you know. Well, what's up, man? What's going on?
What about the diet law?
Diet law? Talk to him. Talk to him.
Define what 666 is.
Whatever, literally whatever it is. But I think it's just a number.
You just came and said that you believe in that, or you are very fond of that.
I feel like that.
Enlighten me. What is 666?
I feel like 666 is the number. It's just a number, but a lot of people portray it the wrong way. But it gets a lot of attention. Because of that, a lot of things can prosper from the number 666. Because people are like, yo, what the fuck were you talking about 666? And that gets you attention.
So are you gonna explain what 666 to me? Explain it like my 5-year-old said something, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What do you guys think about 666?
You the one that came to say you believe in all that.
Yo, Daddy, what he said, if his 5-year-old was here, make it clear to him. What is 666 to you, really quick? To a 5-year-old, bro, make it easy.
I'm just saying 666 is just a number. And because if it's a...
So you just believe in a number?
It's a number, and it grabs everyone's attention because they don't really know what it really is.
So you're gonna explain it to me or not, man?
I'm literally...
What's going on? You say you want to know the dietary?
Read the Bible more. Read the Bible.
Somebody get that Leviticus 11, Deuteronomy 14.
Let's hear some diet law.
Leviticus 11. We're gonna bring out some foods we are not supposed to eat, man.
There we go. What do you eat not to eat? There you go. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Find the script. Find the script.
All right, bring that out. Leviticus 11 real quick.
From the top? It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth.
So this is going into all the beasts we could eat. So Leviticus 11 goes into what we can eat and what we can't eat.
See, that's what the world believes in.
Yeah, but I'm letting you know. I put it on camera.
All right, verse 8.
I won the money. Don't play with
Verse 8 and verse 7. And the swine,
Verse 8.
verse 8, of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you.
So Leviticus 11 goes into what you can't eat, what is clean, and what you can't eat, what is unclean, you know. And so does Deuteronomy 14. So we get two witnesses of what you can and can't eat. What's going on,
You
man?
want to put me on the camera?
No, talk
By the way, I won't work for you if you don't want to be.
Yeah. All right, hold it out. Step back, man. Step back.
Come
Man.
back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Step on him.
Nah, just go ahead, man. Talk, man. What's going on, man?
There's no description that describe this man. I say it's just a man, but not this man.
All right. That was it?
Yeah,
All right, man. Have a good night, man. So we just here, you know, trying to get a sense.
I
You
didn't
know?
win the money.
He said he want his money.
Nah, it's all right, man. You gotta keep these laws, man. That's how you get that good money, man.
Exactly.
All right, it's all right, Rob, man. To know it, man. Come on, man. So yeah, we just out here to get a sense of the so-called blacks and Hispanics, man. Brother gonna bring that right here.
So listen to this, right? The book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head was like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire.
So that gives a description of the Most High and stuff, you know. So this image right here is not biblical, you know. It's not in the Bible, you know. The Bible describes, all right, hold it down. The Bible describes what this looks like, you know. Get that in Revelation 1. Don't give you out a sense, you know. Revelation chapter 1, we're going to show you what the so-called Christ looked like. You know, what the Hamashiach looked like.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 13.
So this is the description of Christ.
And in the midst of the seven candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So it's saying Christ's head, his hairs was like wool, you know. It was woolly in texture.
As white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
His eyes was flame of fire, you know, Genesis 49, you know.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
And his feet was like unto fine brass, you know, brass is like the color brown.
Like, as if they burned in a furnace.
As if it burned in the furnace. You burn anything, it turns darker. So he would be like a dark brown man, you know. So that's how we know this image right here is false, you know. You can't find it nowhere in the Bible, you know. Nah, yeah, so it's a lot in this Bible that, you know, is going on. You know, we have no clue, you know, or most of society has no clue what's going on, you know. So yeah, so good couple scriptures and we wind it down. What you got,
The book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 1. Woe to the bloody city! It is full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not.
So that's what it is, man. This society is full of lies and robberies and all that, man. They just out here deceiving us and we blindly follow all these lies that's being taught. Nah, ain't no need for that, man. It would have been just contention and all that, man. But yeah, this is land of lies and robberies, man. All they teach us is lies, deceiving us, down from the Christian church to the religions, That's all that's going on, man. Straight lies, man.
Right.
And it says our enemies will be found liars and all that, man. So, bring it out.
Nahum chapter 3, verse 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts.
Yeah, so there you go. That's the prophet Nahum bringing it out, man.
God, he said
So
they
we just-
selleth families through their witchcraft.
Yeah, so it goes into the robberies and how we will not enjoy our sons and daughters. Now bring it out.
Verse 5. Behold, I am against thee, said the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and thy kingdoms and the kingdoms thy shame.
Yeah, so there you go, man. So that's all it is. Most High will show us this nakedness, our curses, or the repercussions of the sins we in and stuff, man. You got something? Let's bring that out.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, and verse 14. Wherefore, hear the word of the Lord, ye scornful men, that rule this people which is in Jerusalem. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves.
So that's what is going out, man. That's what's bringing it out, man. Just made lies. That was our refuge. Down, but wind it down. Still bringing it out. So with that, I'll say,
Yeah, just keep going till you get the truck. Somebody can keep going till you get the truck. Right. You're gonna need a mic.
I think you turned it off. No, he turned it off.
Turn it off.
Give me Leviticus 19. Leviticus 19. All right. Get that. Give me the book of Leviticus chapter 19, man. All right. So year after year and generation after generation, y'all continue to pass these wicked traditions down to y'all children, man. And you think that your judgment is not going to come. Give me no, the judgment does not come swift.
Ecclesiastes 8 and 11.
Read 19, verse 30, 31.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 30. And it reads, ye shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Lord. Regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God.
Thus saith the Lord, man. We gonna keep the Most High Sabbath holy, man. We're not gonna seek after wizards and witches and demons and satans, man. Thus saith the book of Leviticus. You got that out? Read that out.
Ecclesiastes 8 verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Your heart is fully set in your evil because your judgment does not come immediately, man. All right? The second that you put that wicked thought in your heart, man, you should be stricken down, man. But because you get to survive year after year, Halloween after Halloween, you think there's no judgment coming to you. But read that again.
Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Your heart is fully set to do evil because your sentence is not executed speedily. Continue.
Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear God, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days.
It's not going to be well with you devils and demons, man. The Most High God said, though, you think that your judgment doesn't come swiftly, that you can continue to celebrate Halloween year after year and pass that demonic ritual down to your children, generating that after generation, that you don't got no judgment coming for it, man. All right? But understand that the day's going to come when that's... cracks open, man, and you're gonna look up and you're gonna see your judgment approach. All right? Give me a slave and lordship. Read that one more time. One more last time for me.
Ecclesiastes 8 verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear God, which feareth before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days.
It's gonna be well with the people that have fear for the punishment of the God of Israel, man. All right, because if you want the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Most High God, man. And if you have fear for the Most High God's judgment, then you're not gonna dress up as his enemy, man, and teach that to your children, man. Right. These damn people got their children sitting up there throwing devil horns up, all right, in front of a big Satan god, man. That's what you guys want to bring your children to. How do you love your children if you're going to hand them over to beasts like that to eat them alive, man? All right, yeah, oh, man, that's what you're going to be saying when the kingdom comes when you're crying for mercy, man. All right? Read that. And if you don't believe me, check this out. I need my reader.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 66 and verse 14. And when ye see this, your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like an herb, and the hand of the Lord shall be known towards his servants, and his indignation towards his enemies.
His indignation towards his enemies, man. This righteous hatred that the Most High God has for his enemies. And the day of judgment is going to come upon this place. All right, read?
Right. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind.
Nah, he's going to come with hugs and kisses.
The Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind.
He's gonna come with the we love the world, let's hold hands and sing Kumbaya spirit.
The Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind.
The Most High is coming with fire and anger, man. Read.
To render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire.
His anger is coming with fury upon this demonic place, man. Read.
For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh.
He's not going to plead in a nice soft voice, man. He's not going to plead in nicely. He's going to plead with fire and by his sword, man. Read.
And the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Nah, he's just going to kill a little bit.
And the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Nah, Jesus Christ don't kill. He's all about peace.
And the slain of the Lord shall be many.
The Lord said he's coming back to slay many of you devils, man. All right? And I can't wait to see that day, man. All right? Give me happy shall we be, man. That see them, they take their little ones and dash them against the stone. No. If you got a question, just tell me, and I'll acknowledge you. All right? What is that? That's a lot of words, man.
It's what's happening. It's the playbook. I got it.
You break it down to me in a short summary.
It's going to be biblical. The scenario where they have a World War III scenario where all the militaries are going to be activated. They're going to bomb all the satanic Luciferian landmarks. Gesera funds will people rebuild. They're going to bomb the landmarks here: Hollywood, Buckingham Palace, the White House, the Three Gorges Dam in China, all the satanic monuments, Big Pharma, Wuhan, Israel, the Khazarians that control the CCP.
And if you know all these things,
34 satanic
then you should
buildings.
be afraid, shouldn't you?
I'm not afraid because I'm not doing anything wrong.
You're absolutely wrong, man. And you're going to be destroyed when the Most High comes back with that mentality.
I'm just letting you know what they sent me.
All right, but if you don't have fear for what that happened. You don't really think that's real. Do you really believe what you just read? Then you're not afraid? Only the fool wouldn't be afraid of the power of the Most High God.
I'm not going to be in danger of it.
If you're not keeping the commandments of God, then you're in danger.
I am, though. That's what I'm saying. I am. That's why I'm not afraid. Because I'm not doing anything God doesn't want me not to do. That's why I'm not afraid.
What doesn't God want you to do?
I'm just saying that's why I'm not afraid. Why should
Give me some
why
examples
should I be
of what
afraid
you're
of an
doing.
all-loving God
Okay.
if I'm serving Him and I'm doing everything He's
You
asking me to do?
shouldn't.
Why should I be afraid? So I shouldn't fear Him.
If
So I
what you
shouldn't
say
fear
is
Him.
true.
But if you are
So
doing
give me
something
some
wrong,
examples
then you
of
should
some
fear Him.
things that you're
Everything
not
that it
doing
says
wrong.
right here is the same thing you're preaching. I'm just giving you the playbook, the script, the play-by-play, what's going to happen. That's all. It's the same thing you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
Read.
Same thing, though.
Listen to this. Listen to this.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 6. For the Most High hateth sinners.
He what?
The Most High hateth sinners.
No, he don't hate the sinner. He just hates the sin that the sinner do. What did the Bible say?
For the Most High hates sinners.
He doesn't just hate the sin. He hates the sinner. Man, read.
And will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment.
He's going to repay vengeance against them. So give me sin again. What is sin? Because God said He hates sinners.
I agree with you.
Give me what
I
sin
agree
is.
with you.
Transgression of the law. You got that? Bring that out.
1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin, transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law.
If sin is the transgression of God's law, and God hates sinners, then what does that mean, man? He hates everybody that does not keep His law.
Right.
Right? So you stand confidently, without fear, to say before the Most High God, you are not guilty of breaking His law.
No, I have, and I've repented, and I do every day to be the best person I can be, better than the day before. And we make mistakes, we're human. But I'm not doing anything to do any harm to anyone. I'm not stealing from anyone. I'm not lying to anyone. I'm not breaking any of the 10 commandments. So why should I fear Him if I'm following all His rules?
You're not following all His rules. You have to make sure every aspect of your life is in accordance with the Scripture.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 27. Ye shall not round the corners of thy heads, of your heads, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard.
This is a commandment that God gave to Moses to give to the children of Israel. What did He say?
Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard.
Thus saith the Lord, man. So you are obviously, as soon as you walk up to us, we know that whether or not you're in sin, man. All right? Because we keep the commandments of God to the best of our ability.
Right.
So as soon as you come up to us, we can tell off the dribble whether or not you take the laws of God seriously, man. Right. You got that? Bring that out.
1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep His commandments, and His commandments are not grievous.
It is not a grievous thing to be obedient to the laws of the Bible, man. It is not grievous at all. There's nothing hard about it, man. You should be passionate to keep these laws, all right? It's an honor and a valor and a merit to that for men to say that I keep the laws of God. I obey the laws of my Father, man, all right? So that when the day comes, I could be of that number, all right, that sees the destruction of my enemies, man, all right? Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible. Give me Revelation 21, huh? Revelation chapter 21, and I want verse 8. Got it?
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 8. Read. But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire.
Thus saith the Lord, man. And I'm going to leave Hollywood Boulevard like that. All right? Take heed or not. Your judgment has been spoken, man. And my hands are washed. And my feet are dusted off. All right? Y'all out here contributing to this madness. You need to denounce this day right now. While you still got breath in your body, man. Read that again.
Right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 21, and verse 8. But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible. Repent or die or suffer the second death that John Revelator speaks of, man. And with that, We done tore up Hollywood Boulevard on Halloween, or Halloween, man. All praise to the Most High God. Pardon Yasharala. We got next. We gonna keep coming out here every Sabbath and rebuking you devils and raising up the spirit of the Black, Hispanic, and Native American men. All right, for the day of battle that's coming upon this place, man. All right, thus saith the Lord. Pardon Yasharala. Pardon Yasharala. Pardon Yasharala. Shalom. All praises, man. Death to America.
Death to America.
Halloween rebuke.
Out, brother. Powerful.
Hope y'all enjoyed the camp tonight. Y'all learned what things was done on job. Hope y'all shot for nothing about money.